Now, is it OK to indulge your kids so much so they just don't ever want to leave home? Or is it showing love and care if you let them go?
One parent who is indulging his son is Jeff Brazier. He sends 20-year-old Bobby off every day to training for the Strictly rehearsals with a boxed-up packed lunch and says he thinks Bobby might have it too good at home. But it's all worth it, of course, if it keeps them close, isn't it?
Well, Nicola McLean says it's fine to pamper your kids so that they want to stay home, and Debbie Arnold here thinks, no, you've got to push them out the nest, just like the birdies do. Chick them out as soon as they're ready to fly. Well, that's a bit brutal.
No, it's not brutal. People have to survive. Can you imagine what sort of husband he's going to turn out to be? He's going to expect his wife to do everything for him. I mean, it's true.
Except it's his dad doing everything for him, so he won't expect his wife to. He'll just think the same way. It's the chap who does everything at home.
I don't agree with you. I really do think a 20-year-old boy with a lunchbox, surely he can make his own lunch. Surely he can look after himself.
Well, he can, but the point is that if it's done for him, then it's the treat which keeps him sweet. It keeps him in the house.
Yes. Well, I didn't want my children to stay in forever.
No, so you've got daughters, haven't you?
Yes, that's the difference.
And when did they're now 35 and 30, when did they leave home?
Well, my eldest one left home at 18 and the other, probably both about 18.
Right.
They both...
Babies.
Yes.
18 for me, my son is 17 and 18 is a baby still. I left home at 17 and I was too young. I was too young to do it. I would have coped much better in life if I would have stayed at home and been nurtured for longer, for sure.
But you're keeping him at home for your sake, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Not for his,
well,
for you.
Well, he's perfectly happy at home. He gets a tea brought in bed every morning. He gets breakfast in bed every morning. So does the little one. I mean, my 13-year-old has never even made a bit of toast. Like, I don't want them to.
Is he a bloke as well?
Yeah, they're both boys, yeah. Well, I want them to feel the unconditional love. I want them to have every morning me walking into their room and going, morning,
Well,
and then
what sort of husbands are they going to make?
I don't care. I don't care. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
You want them to get married, do you? You want them to stay at home forever.
My eldest has got the most beautiful girlfriend, Lola. She is round all the time and I will give her everything that I can give my son. So I don't mind them getting married, have a big enough house to have an annex. For me, that's the only rules. That is the rules.
My daughter was 8. She came home from school one day and she screamed. And I said, what's the matter? She said, Mummy, I've just looked in this fridge and there's nothing in it except a bottle of champagne and some nail varnish. And I said, why don't you go on the computer and go to Ocado? And she did, and she did that ever since.
OK.
You see, she's independent, but both of my daughters went to work. But the eldest went to Hollyoaks and the youngest toured with JLS as a support artist. So they've stayed in the industry. That's why they're different.
Do we think it's different for girls, Sid?
Yes.
It's different with... Yeah, do you think that's different with daughters?
I do. I wonder whether, Debbie, because you've got daughters, they naturally migrate home.
Yeah.
Whereas, Nicola, you have boys, and whether they naturally drift away towards their future home.
I'm just making sure that doesn't happen. I really am. So I have an open house. I mean, I am very lively, as you probably know. So it's very fun in the house, and I make sure it is. All the kids' friends come to mine. I don't like them having sleepovers.
Can I come to your house?
Yes, come. For me, as I say, I want the boys to just know that I had them because I wanted them and I want them for as long as they want me.
But can you accept that there might be... Let's just be honest about this. Is it a bit pathetic for a father to be making a packed lunch for a 20-year-old boy?
Yes, I think so. I really do think so. Because he's got to look after himself
but
at some point.
The fact of the matter is, Rocky's 17. I make his packed lunch before he's going off to college or football. I make sure he's got the correct protein bar if it's training. If I wasn't there, which I'm lucky enough that I normally am, if I wasn't there, he'd do it. But I'm there, so I do it. Yeah, and I think that's correct.
Well, if I did that to my daughters and gave them lunchboxes, they'd think I was trying to poison them. I'd have to give them Alka-Seltzer.
Well, I must say, I don't know what kind of packed lunch Jeff is making for Bobby, but it can't be much in it. It can't be much more than a cucumber sandwich, because he's thin as a rake.
Yeah. Well, Jeff says, I'm not ashamed to admit, I'm still making packed lunches for Bobby. He's burning about 1 million calories every day.
Oh, fair enough.
So I just feel what I can do to help him and Diane is to make sure they go in with a big Tupperware container full of stuff that's going to fuel him. And it's not just Bobby at 20, it's his brother Freddie who's 19, both still living at home with Dad. And Jeff says, I don't think there's any chance they're going anywhere just yet. They've either both got it too easy or because it's just lovely living together.
But I love the
I hold my hands up
independence
to
of
this.
my daughters.
When my son left for university, I really missed him. And I almost wished he'd phone up and say he was having a rotten time and could he come home. You know, I really missed him. And
That's
I miss Chloe
lovely,
when she went to uni. But she did have a rotten time and she did come home.
But
Yeah.
Kira went straight into Hollyoaks. And so I felt very safe that, strangely enough, that she was there. If she was at uni, I would have actually felt a lot less safer. But at least it's the industry that I know, and Talia as well. So I suppose it's exciting.
Yeah,
Well,
but that
cost of living means that more children are staying
True.
at home with the parents. We asked what you thought. 53% said yes, indulge the kids and they'll never leave.